Hi, I'm Eliza, and today we are going to do some games and instructions that you can do with your eyes closed. So feel free to lie back, close your eyes, get comfy. Okay, let's begin. So the first thing we're going to do, I'm going to give you a category, and when I click my fingers, I want you to say something in that category, okay? So first up we have girls' names, okay? Think of a girl's name when I click my fingers. Okay, and out of those 3 girls' names, which do you think would be best for a pet dog? Which would be best for a pet dog? Okay, now new different girls' names. Ready? Okay, out of those 4 girls' names, which do you think would be best for a fairy? Like, which do you think is the most kind of ethereal, magical, or maybe like a flower name? I think flower girls' names are good for fairies. What do you think out of those 4 that you just said? Not the first 3, the last 4. Okay, cool. I think so too. Now I want you to say a type of food. Say a food, okay? The last 2 got a little bit quick there. I hope I didn't catch you out. Out of those 4 foods, which have you eaten the most recently? Which have you eaten the most recently? Okay. New foods, please. Okay, out of those final 4 foods, which is the most appropriate breakfast food? Which would you be most likely to have for breakfast? Okay, very good, very good. Now I want you to think of cities, please. Cities. Okay, are you ready? Okay, and out of those 3 cities, which would you most like to live in? Which would you most like to live in? Okay, and why is that? Okay, you just like the vibe, it looks cool. Cool. Let me think what else. Okay, now we're gonna think of colours, okay? Colours, please. Okay, out of those 4 colours, which do you wear the most often? Which colour do you wear the most often? Okay, new colours, please. Okay, out of those 3 colours, which would you least like to paint your bedroom? Which would you least like to paint your bedroom? Yeah, I agree, that would be a bit... It's not a bad colour, but it would be a bit much for a bedroom, I think. Okay. Now, musical instruments, please. Musical instruments. Are you ready? Okay. Out of those 4 musical instruments, which would you most like to be able to play? Okay. Nice. 4 new instruments, please. That was actually 5. Were you able to think of 5 more? So that's 9 instruments in total. Did you get that many? Okay. Well done. I'm a bit impressed, I must say. Out of those final 5 instruments, which do you think is the coolest? Like, if someone says that they play that instrument, you're like, oh, that's really cool, you know? What do you think? Okay, yeah, I agree. I think that's quite cool. Okay, next, we are going to play a game of guess the syllables. I'm going to say a little phrase, and I want you to I want you to count the syllables. A syllable is I don't know how to describe what a syllable is. A syllable, you'll just understand as we play the game. You'll get it, I think. So your first phrase is peace and quiet. Peace and quiet. How many syllables in peace and quiet? Good. It is 4. Peace and quiet. Those are what syllables are. That's 4 syllables. Your next phrase. Every cloud. Every cloud. How many syllables? Good. I would say 3. Your next phrase is a blessing in disguise. A blessing in disguise. How many syllables? Good. I think 6. A blessing in disguise. 6 syllables. Good. Slow and steady. Slow and steady. How many syllables? Good, that was 4. Quiet as a mouse. Quiet as a mouse. How many syllables? Good, that was 5. Safe and sound. Safe and sound. How many syllables in that one? Good, that was 3. The calm before the storm. The calm before the storm. How many syllables? Good, that was 6. This is your final one. Rise and shine. Rise and shine. How many syllables? Good, it's 3. 3 syllables. Alright. Now, what I'm going to do is make a kind of rhythm with my hands, and I want you to tell me when the rhythm changes. Okay, tell me when the rhythm changes. So let's I feel like this is going to take a lot of concentration from me, so we'll see how it goes. It might not work, but let's just do it. So this will be our starting rhythm. So just tell me when this rhythm changes to something different. Good. It's changed. Tell me when it changes again. Good. It's changed. Tell me again when it changes. Good. Wait, I confused myself. It changed, but then I got confused. I made it too complicated. Okay, well done. You did really good. Let's do that again. Let's start from the beginning again. Really simple. And then we'll just do it exactly the same again, okay? So this is your first rhythm. Tell me when it changes. Good. Good. It's changed. Good. Oh, wait. It's changed again because I got confused again. Okay, well done. You did really well. That really works out my brain quite a lot. It's very difficult for me to speak while I'm doing that. I'm not naturally, I'm not like a natural musician. I don't think I have particularly good rhythm. Okay, but you did great, and let me know if you enjoyed it, and I'll try to do it again. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is I'm gonna say a category, and then we'll both say something in that category, and if we say the same thing, then we get a point, okay? GB did this in a video recently, and she did shout me out in that video, so that was very exciting. but she did it better than I've ever done it. So anyway, we're gonna do that. So yeah, I'll say the category, we'll say the same, hopefully we'll say the same thing, and then we'll both get a point. So the first category will be vegetables. So we'll say a vegetable at the same time. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. Carrot. I said carrot. If you said carrot, you get a point. We both get a point. The next category will be flowers. 3, 2, 1. Lily. If you said lily, then you get a point. The next category will be professions, like jobs. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Bus driver. If you said bus driver, then you get a point. The next category is fruit. 3, 2, 1. Watermelon. If you said watermelon, then you get a point. The next category is shapes. 3, 2, 1. Diamond. If you said diamond, then congratulations, you get a point. The next category is sports. The next category is sports. 3, 2, 1. Hockey. If you said hockey, then you get a point. The next category is herbs. 3, 2, 1. Mint. If you said mint, then you get a point. Question: what is your favorite herb? Because my favorite herb is mint, by the way. Let's do 2 more. Let's do dance, like type of dance. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Tango. I said the tango. If you said tango, you get a point. And the final category, let's say countries. Let's do country. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Nigeria. If you said Nigeria, then you get a point. Congratulations. Okay, I hope you found that fun. I find that really fun. The next thing we're going to do, I am going to attempt to describe something in its kind of basic shapes. So for example, I'm going to ask you to imagine a square with a triangle sitting on top of that square. What do you think I'm trying to describe? Good, it is a house. Okay, that's the idea of this game. Okay, so I want you to imagine a semicircle with the flat side at the bottom, and out of the bottom of the semicircle is a line with a little curve on the end, and the semicircle is yellow in this scenario, and the line with a curve at the end is black. And yeah, okay, that's it. Can you imagine? What do you think I'm trying to describe? I'm trying to describe an umbrella. The next thing, I want you to imagine a rectangle with, like a tall rectangle with 3 circles inside, 3 circles inside it, like 1, 2, 3, I don't know how to explain. And the rectangle is black. One of the circle at the top is red, the one in the middle is yellow, and the one at the bottom is green. What do you think I'm trying to describe? Good, yes, it is a traffic light. I think the colours in that one definitely help give it away. Okay, now I want you to imagine a trapezium, which is a four-sided shape with two parallel sides, and the shortest parallel side is on the bottom, so it's like an upside down trapezium compared to how I usually think of them. And on top of the trapezium is a semicircle. Now I'm really starting to worry that I'm forgetting what a trapezium is. This is so silly. I'm just gonna Google trapezium just to make sure that I have it and I'm not thinking of a rhombus or something silly. Trapezium. Oh, well, this is good that I looked it up actually. Wait, let me just look at the images first to make sure that okay, I am thinking of a trapezium, but apparently in American English is referred to as a trapezoid, which can cause some confusion. That's according to Wikipedia. Okay, so it is a trapezium / trapezoid. Trapezioid? Anyway. And it's upside down. It's got a semicircle on top. And maybe some kind of small, teeny little lines on the semicircle, like on the very top. And the trapezium is a kind of pale brown colour, and the semicircle is pink, for example, and the teeny lines are multicoloured. There are lots of different colours. They're every colour of the rainbow. Okay. Do you have any idea what I'm trying to describe? This one might be very hard. Do you have an idea? I'm trying to describe a cupcake, and with the pink icing on top and hundreds and thousands sprinkles on top. That's what I'm trying to describe. The last thing I want to describe, I want you to imagine two circles with a line connecting the two, and also lines coming out of the sides of both of the other sides of both of the circles, and there's a little curvy bit on the end of the lines. This also might be very hard to imagine. Can you guess what I'm trying to describe? I was trying to describe a pair of glasses. Let me know if you got any of those, or if it's impossible. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write some words, and I want you to I want to see if you can tell what I'm writing. This one might also be impossible, but I'm going to make it easier by giving you options. So I'm either going to write the word tingle, or whisper. I'll either write tingle or whisper. Okay, are you ready? Listening carefully. Okay, did you get that? That was tingle. Tingle. Good, okay. Next, I'm going to either write the word rain or mist. Okay, rain or mist. Okay, what word was that? That was mist. Very well done. I should have said that these are all going to be capital letters, okay, so that you can imagine it better. Next, I'll either write the word peace or quiet. Peace or quiet. Oops, my screen just went dark. Okay, it's fine. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm either going to write the word peace or quiet. Are you ready? Good. Okay, what word was that? That was peace. That was peace. Now I'm either going to write the word stream or river. Stream or river. Are you ready? What word was that? That was river. River. Good. Now I'm either going to write the word click or snap. Click or snap. Are you ready? Okay, what word was that? That was click. Click. Now I'm either going to write good or night. Good or night. Are you ready? Okay. What word was that? That was night. That was night. Good. Okay. Well, I think that is everything for today. I hope you enjoyed this time together, and thank you very much for dropping by, and I'm sure we'll see each other. I'm sure I'll see you soon. Okay, great. Thank you very much.